Are you brave enough to face your darkest fears? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down the top 11 scariest horror movies to watch. Films that will keep you on the edge of your seat, make your heart race, and have you sleeping with the lights on. From terrifying supernatural encounters to chilling psychological nightmares, these movies are not for the faint-hearted. So grab your popcorn, lock your doors, and let's dive into the world of pure horror, if you dare. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. 11. Samala. Samala, unbeknownst to her husband Sojaman, Salastri made a pact with the devil so that she could have children. She gave birth to twins, Kamala who survived and Samala who died. Kamala grew up to be a kind child, but physically and mentally disabled, she often received bad treatment from the people around her. One day, Samala came from the world of the dead and made a reckoning with those who had hurt Kamala. Tin and Tina.
Hey, where did you go?
Spain, 1981. In her wedding day, Lola suffers an internal bleeding and she loses the baby she was expecting. Still worse, she is reported in the hospital that she lost the capacity to be pregnant. Some months later, and while Lola, she's still depressed by the tragedy Adolfo, her husband convinces her to adopt a baby in a convent close to the town. But instead to adopt a baby, Lola decides to adopt Tin and Tina, two lovely twins with a talent for music. However, Lola discovers because their rise in the convent that Tin and Tina are frantic religious who interpret Holy Bible verbatim, no considering the consequences. Obsessed with Christ, God, and the salvation, their attitude and behavior turns their peaceful family life in a hell full of fear. While an absent father, Adolfo rejects Lola accusations simply as kid stuff. Lola suffers a faint in the New Year's Eve just to realize something impossible. She's pregnant again. Taking it as a miracle, the news make her and Adolfo happy. But Lola becomes obsessive, thinking that Tin and Tina would put in danger she and the baby looking for obtain the celestial redemption. Nine, Don't Breathe.
The box! Now!
Rocky, a young woman wanting to start a better life for her and her sister, agrees to take part in the robbery of a house owned by a wealthy blind man with her boyfriend Money and their friend Alex. But when the blind man turns out to be a more ruthless adversary than he seems, the group must find a way to escape his home before they become his latest victims. Eight, Untold. Vivian Vera is a journalist and social media star who is on a career high as the news anchor for her own investigative documentary series, Untold. Things go horribly wrong when she pursues a story and it leaves her traumatized. Soon, inexplicable occurrences start surrounding her and her news crew and plunges them deeper into a mystery that forces Vivian to face her own deep secrets if she wants answers. Seven, Train to Busan. Sakwoo, a father with not much time for his daughter, Suan, are boarding the KTX, a fast train that shall bring them from Seoul to Busan. But during their journey, the apocalypse begins, and most of the Earth population become flesh-craving zombies. While the KTX is shooting towards Busan, the passengers fight for their families and lives against the zombies and each other. 6. The Dark and the Wicked. The Dark and the Wicked follows two siblings who are summoned back to the family farm to await the inevitable death of their father. What initially appears to be a timeless ritual of loss and remembrance turns out to be something very different. Five. Skinamarink. Two children wake up in the middle of the night to find their father is missing and all the windows and doors in their home have vanished. To cope with the strange situation, the two bring pillows and blankets to the living room and settle into a quiet slumber party. They play well-worn videotapes of cartoons to fill the silence of the house and distract from the frightening and inexplicable situation, all the while in the hopes that eventually some grown-ups will come to rescue them. However, after a while it becomes clear that something is watching over them. Four. The Whole Truth. Defense attorney Richard Ramsey, Keanu Reeves, takes on a personal case when he swears to his widowed friend, Loretta Lassiter, Renee Zellweger, that he will keep her son Mike, Gabriel Basso, out of prison. Charged with murdering his father, Mike initially confesses to the crime. But as the trial proceeds, chilling evidence about the kind of man that Boone Lassiter, Jim Belushi, really was comes to light. While Ramsey uses the evidence to get his client acquitted, his new colleague Janelle, Gugu Mbadara, tries to dig deeper and begins to realize that the whole truth is something she alone can uncover. Three. The Privilege.
Es tut mir so leid. Lass los! Nein! Du musst loslassen.
A wealthy teen and his friends attending an elite private school uncover a dark conspiracy while looking into a series of strange supernatural events. Two. The Incantation. In Taiwan, after 6 years in a psychiatric facility, Li Ruanan recovers her daughter Dodo from foster home, where she's been created by the social worker Si Chi-ming. She recalls that 6 years ago, her boyfriend Chen Li Tong and his cousin Chen Qinyuan are ghostbusters for their video channel. They head to a remote village where Tong and Yuan's relatives live and practice the Yunnan religion, worshipping Mother Buddha. Ruanan is not allowed to participate in their ritual and is informed that she is pregnant, and they advise that there is a tunnel where nobody can enter. However, Tong and Yuan break in the tunnel and briefly dies, and their footage is damaged. Soon Dodo is disturbed by an evil entity and becomes seriously ill. Ming, who loves Dodo as if she were his daughter, teams up with Ruanan to research a cure. He learns that Mother Buddha is an evil entity and restores the footage. Will then be capable to save Dodo and themselves from their cursed fate? One. Veronica. Madrid, June of 1991. Veronica is a teenage girl surpassed by the circumstances after her father died recently. Her mother works in a bar all day, and she must care for her 3 siblings, twin girls Lucia and Irene, and the youngest Ananito. Still mourning for her father's death, Veronica decides to play Ouija with her friends Rosa and Diana, taking advantage of a total solar eclipse where all classmates and teachers are on the school's rooftop watching it. Alone in the cellar, the girls try to contact their recent deceased family members, but the session goes wrong and something happens to Veronica. She hid from her mother what has happened. Veronica starts to feel strange presences inside the house and fears that these ghosts are a threat to any of her siblings. Advised by Sister Narcissa, nicknamed by the children as Sister Death, about the sinister spirit which is close to her, Veronica, looking for a way to break the contact with the ghost and save everyone, suffering hallucinations and horrible visions that progressively end up in violence and intensity that turns the whole house into a nightmare where no one is safe. And there you have it, the top 11 scariest horror movies that will haunt your mind long after the credits roll. Which one scared you the most? Did we miss a movie that traumatized you? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this list, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more thrilling countdowns. Thanks for watching, and remember, check behind you before you sleep.